Hello, good evening. Welcome to Camnet Television News. Today, the 1st of May, 2024. To present Camnet Television News, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. The top stories in the news tonight: motorists irked by 4 kwacha for the Fongwe fuel increase. Former presidential political advisor ZUMANI Zimba demands over 233 million kwacha for malicious prosecution. Government reaffirms commitment to resolve economic challenges. In international news, arrest warrant issued for Central African Republic's ex-president François BOZIZÉ. And in sports news, Dortmond and Paris Saint-Germain clash in UEFA semi-finals. These are more stories coming up shortly after the break.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
And now come to television main news in detail. Some motorists in Lusaka have re-echoed the need for government to revisit the monthly increment and reduction of the fuel pump price in the country. Speaking to Camnet News, drivers at Kulima Tower Bus Station explained that the 35 kwacha 56 ingwe price per litre of fuel will negatively impact their daily fuel consumption. Meanwhile, the Buses and Taxi Association of Zambia chairperson Sydney Chewe predicts that a local route increase is expected to occur after a consultative meeting is held. On Tuesday, the Energy Regulations Board, ERB, increased the fuel pump prices of petroleum products by 4 kwacha for the Fongwe for petrol and 0.82 kwacha for diesel. Details in this report.
April 30th, the Energy Regulation Board (ERB) announced the upward fuel pump price increase for the month of May for all petroleum products. Petrol increased from 31.12 to 35.56, diesel from 28.78 to 29.60, and kerosene from 20.44 to 28.39 kwacha per litre. ERB highlighted that the increase in the price of oil on international markets, coupled with the depreciation of the kwacha against the United States dollar, resulted in an adverse movement in domestic wholesale and pump prices of petroleum products. Buses and Taxi Association of Zambia National Chairperson Sydney Chewe says the increase will highly affect the transport sector as majority of the vehicles use petrol, which has significantly increased from 31 to 35 kwacha per litre.
It mostly is on a petrol and will increase on the local routes. That will be, Lusaka, short distances like local will not affect the maybe Lusaka to Kafue or Chongwe. It's not affected. This is the average of 0.8 plus 4 kwacha, and it's because of that the fact that we have a lot of petrol vehicles that is going to be affected. So average on the expected amount, I will not be able to tell because it's something that we need to communicate to the respective stakeholders.
And Economic Freedom Party President Kasonde Mwenda says the disparity amounts are a daylight robbery, with each litre of petrol costing the Zambian people over 12 kwacha more than it should. He adds that the increment is not merely an oversight or a result of economic fluctuations, but a deliberate act of theft orchestrated by those entrusted with the well-being of our nation.
35.56 kwacha per litre. More than 12 kwacha. More than 12 kwacha per litre. You can't allow this. You can't allow this.
Meanwhile, motorists in Lusaka have expressed the need for government to review the price increment, as the 35.56 increment has a huge impact on their daily consumption of petroleum products.
We requested for the government to read the last time, but if I a church, what pass on 3-4 months, so I can go fuel. At least we should have a good plan. But every after 1 month, there's increment or there's a downfall. That means our planning will fit now.
Maybe close to 1 liter. Yameno was 1 liter they will 35 something so kuja kuenda kufika kuja kwa 75 bacha. Then ipeze kakuti ma challenges ya mbili maningi then tikanjwa kupeza kuti kapena tinga balance banje kapena tinga support banje. So na ife tinga mbereko bwino ngati chane fuel babweza ko fans. Oro kapena na ife batikwezekela ko batikambireko levi na bayanga.
And Commuters' Rights Association of Zambia Executive Director Aaron Kamuti had this to say.
We definitely anticipate the increments on the bus fares, looking at the margin which was adjusted by ERB. This has never happened in a long time now.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, the opposition Citizens First Party has bemoaned the recent increase of petroleum products by the Energy Regulations Board, citing the economic challenges the country is facing. Citizens First Deputy Secretary General for Politics and Operations, Kefas Mukuka, says citizens are already subjected to a harsh economy coupled with load shedding and the high cost of living, which have made the livelihoods of many families unbearable. He adds that the increase will spark a rise in the poverty levels in the country, as many households will be unable to meet their basic needs and nutrition basket.
Here we are talking of the increase in the fuel pump price, coupled with the power outages. The answer is disastrous. So the Zambian economy in the next 2-3 months is going to be very harsh. We are seeing a situation where a bag of meal is not going to cost less than 700 kwacha, because the trend and indicators are suggesting what we are saying here. This is unacceptable. Let government come up with a solution. We cannot continue to subject our citizens to such harshness. Look, the issue to do with electricity or power outages has made the Zambian people to get to buying these generators. And these generators are working with either diesel or petrol. And this is where now we've got an increment. Meaning to say that now people are put in a tight corner and there is no solution. It is disastrous. By the time the so-called power outages are going to normalize, we can assure you that a lot of damage economically would have been caused. So this is unacceptable to say the least. We cannot continue at this trajectory.
Over 200 companies have participated in this year's Labor Day commemorations held under the theme Building Resilience, Workers at the Heart of Zambia's Economic Recovery. Speaking during the commemoration in Lusaka, Zambia Congress of Trade Unions ZCTU Deputy President Jeffrey Mbewe challenged government to provide a clear roadmap of how it will help avert challenges the country is facing without compromising on the plight of workers. And Zambia Federation of Employers Executive Director Harrington Chibanda expressed concern at the levels of poverty in the country, further calling on employers to respect rights of workers. Meanwhile, Vice President Mtalena Lumango disclosed that government is committed to ensuring the plight of workers is respected, further encouraging citizens not to undermine any job. Nelson Zulu reports.
Just like the saying, workers are the backbone of any nation, the real builders of society. Over 200 companies from the public and private sectors have taken a day off to join the International Labour Day celebrations in the spirit of developing Zambia, while highlighting the work they do in their day-to-day activities in workplaces. Observed under the theme, Building Resilience, Workers at the Heart of Zambia's Economic Recovery, the labour movement in the country, called on government to develop strategies that aim at addressing the plight of workers, while commending government for the numerous strides taken to improve the country's economic status. Zambia Congress of Trade Unions Deputy President wants government to disclose the clear roadmap of how economic challenges will be resolved amidst a drought situation which has affected the country's food basket.
All we ask for from our political leadership is that as we tighten our belts due to our current state of the nation, we must also see the same happening with our political leadership. We are fully aware of what our country is going through, and our demand is that government must be very clear with how they are going to resolve the challenges the Zambia is going through. We can't continue with an economy which is unpredictable. We hope and pray that government will critically look into the plight of the workers and the well-being of the Zambians.
Addressing the anticipated food insecurity and low productivity is critical, particularly in light of the rise in poverty levels in the country, which increased from 54.4% in 2015 to 60% in 2022 due to lack of job opportunities and declining labor earnings, while the cost of living continues to rise.
Meanwhile, Vice President Mutalena Lumango, who officiated as guest of honor, says government is committed to averting the challenges the country is facing.
In industry, fellow workers, the role you play in the revival and attainment of a resilient economy of the province and that of the entire country cannot be overemphasized. You are the key drivers of our economy. Your hard work, innovation and passion will certainly move this country forward. That includes each one of you. Each one of you, whether you are sitting in front or you are at the back, you are all workers. And therefore, it is our work which will help move this country forward. Government remains steadfast in ensuring that your rights as workers.
The Vice President also challenged Zambians not to undermine any job and take care of the environment.
No work should be put down at all. I like the last part. If you saw, most of it was cleaning the environment. Great work, cleaning the environment. And in this work, can I call upon all of us Zambians that we become part of the work of cleaning the environment.
The companies also took the day as an opportunity to showcase their skills, while some workers walked away with awards as a token of appreciation. As this day is celebrated, the onus is on everyone to reflect on the collective efforts required to build a resilient and prosperous Zambia, with workers at the forefront of economic recovery and sustainable development. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Department of Labor in Mumbwa has been urged to prove its relevance by taking keen stock of labor-related complaints from workers, especially in the private sector. Mumbwa Central Member of Parliament Credo Nanjua says it was unfortunate that the district has continued to receive reports of unfair labor practices among investors in the district and called for stern action against ailing employers. He has also urged technocrats to provide tangible solutions to the district and national challenges, especially in the face of climate change. The 2024 Labor Day celebration was celebrated under the theme, Building Resilience, Workers at the Heart of Zambia's Economic Recovery.
It is the unwavering spirit of the Zambian workforce, the driving force behind our nation's economic resurgence. We are well aware as workers that the government has been making efforts to address main challenges that the nation is going through. Guest of honor, Ladies and gentlemen, we want to call on the government to begin to reorganize itself and make clear and practical steps that are going to change the country's economic state. In assessing the state of our nation, we must acknowledge the triumphs and tribulations that have shaped the journey of government in the past 2.5 years of the new Dawn administration.
Government has improved the conditions of service for domestic workers, shop workers, and general workers effective January this year. But I have not even seen domestic workers, shop workers also marching today on this very important day. I've not seen choppies here. Are these the kind of investors that I should appreciate? Government will say no. Every investor must appraise himself before investing about the economic landscape of the area what he wants to invest and understand the legal aspects. Shop owners should send their workers here, district commissioner. If they don't want, we part company, we bring better investors who are ready to abide by the laws of the government.
The National Union of Public and Private Educators of Zambia, NUPEZ, has called on teachers in the country to be hardworking regardless of their accommodation and other challenges they are facing. NUPEZ Executive President Victor Muyumba says for this year's theme, Building Resilience, workers at the heart of Zambia's economic recovery to be realized, teachers should also adopt their other skills that add to the country's economy. He observes that for Zambia's economy to recover, every citizen should play a part by thinking of ways that are beneficial.
We need to understand, do we reap what we put in? Do we give results? How is the output? Are we moving forward? Are we realizing something from what we are doing? If you are a farmer, are you progressing? For example, if you are to look at your trend for the past 5 years, are you doing better? If you are a business person, whatever you are selling, is your business growing? If you are a worker, are you giving a good service? How is your productivity? And all that. Because that is the only way you can be at the heart of economic recovery of this country. And this is how it should be. Now, for the employer as well, if this particular employee is viewed as a wheel of production, then you need to oil this wheel. Because if the wheel jams up, then that's the end. It will not work. Or you have difficulties to get to where you are supposed to be. A wheel that is oiled will move smoothly and faster. So that is how it's supposed to be. And for the teachers, we know there are a number of issues that government is supposed to do. Government is supposed to upgrade those that haven't been upgraded. That is one way of oiling the wheel. Once that is done, let's provide accommodation to those that are not accommodated. Let us confirm those that have been acting indefinitely without being confirmed. And that is how we are going to oil the wheel.
The United Liberal Party, ULP, has claimed that it is pointless to celebrate the World Labour Day amid its economic challenges the country is facing. Party President Sakwiba Sikota says although it is important to celebrate Labour Day, it is questionable how people can do so on an empty stomach. And some members of the party have called on government to address the economic challenges the country is facing, such as the drought-induced hunger.
But I think that rather than celebrate, it's a time for us to reflect on what is it that we need to do for the workers, for things to get better. I think one of the first things that we have to do is a realization that the government has failed. It has failed the workers. And there is a need to put into place a new set of people who will truly have the heart of the workers in them. You have a situation where just on the eve of when you're supposed to be celebrating Labor Day, you hit the workers hard with an increase of more than 10% in terms of fuel prices. Increasing by 4 kwacha, that is more than 10% increase. Right now you have workers who are not able to get onto public transport to get to work. They get up very early in the morning, walk for 2 hours, some even 2.5 hours to go to work. We walk again at the end of the day, 2.5 hours to get back home, because the cost of fares is so high. Now you are going to have the cost of fares going up even more, which will mean that more of the workers will have to now decide that they too can no longer get to work.
Too high, just like you heard from the previous people that talked. It's too high. The cost of living is far too high. It's not sustainable. The minimum costs have gone. Every commodity around our country is going up.
Say, let them take care of the masses that are complaining out there. There is too much that is supposed to be done, and like politicking in everything.
We have a crisis in terms of minimum prices. They have increased, load shedding, they have chased street vendors. Some of us have been raised through street vending. So we need to see change in every.
The United Party for National Development, UPND National Youth Spokesperson Phineas Pomolo has warned former First Lady Esther Lungu not to question the treatment she is being subjected to, but reflect on how many former First Ladies acquired wealth the way she has in the same period. Mr. Pomolo says the former First Lady must prove to the court how she acquired the property in question so that she can rest and enjoy the fruits of her labor. He has also urged everyone in a government office to serve diligently and bear in mind that their current actions have future repercussions.
Asking a question at the court that why is she being treated like she's being treated, that no First Lady who served before her that was treated like the way she's being treated. But the question that she should ask herself is, of all the former First Ladies who have served before her, how many of those First Ladies who have acquired wealth the way she has acquired wealth? I think the best thing that she should do, she should just try by all means to prove to the court how she acquired the same wealth. This is also a learning point to some of us who are in public life, who are in politics, and who are in this ruling party now, that we should always bear in mind that whatever we do today, it has got a bare consequences in future. So it is very important for us as citizens to make sure that we serve the people of this country diligently. I want also to take this opportunity to commend the SP here in Ndanda Ward, in Rwena constituency, because we had a violent free campaign. Today is the last day that we are campaigning, and we believe that us as UPND, we have done a good job, and this is what it's going to be a walkover. This is a Zambia that people wanted to see. Free and fair election. The campaign which has been violent free. We have been here for the past 2 weeks now campaigning, and we have been meeting with the SP campaign team, and no violence whatsoever that has been recorded here in Ndanda Ward of Rwena constituency in Western Province.
Some opposition political parties have accused Republican President Hakainde Hichilema of holding rallies when the opposition is being denied permits despite the country's democratic status. Socialist Party youth spokesperson Stanley Mobasa has attributed the purported shrinking democratic space in the country to the abuse of power. Meanwhile, New Heritage Party President Jishalaka Teka has described alleged incidences by the UPND administration to use law enforcement agencies to champion their political agenda while infringing the rights of opposition political parties as unfortunate. More in the following report.
The democratic status of the country has in recent months been a topic that has attracted concerns from various stakeholders, especially opposition political parties, who have expressed grievances at the purported prevention by the UPND administration for them to hold rallies, with accusations leveled against the UPND administration for purportedly abrogating the law and using the police and law enforcement agencies to champion their political agenda by way of holding rallies while sidelining the opposition to do the same, despite Zambia being a democratic nation, has caused commotion in the political scene in Zambia. Recently, Republican President Hakainde Hichilema was in Nakonde and Chinsali districts where he held public rallies. In light of this, Socialist Party spokesperson Stanley Mubasa, in an interview with Camnet News, has expressed concern at the UPND's commitment in shrinking the democratic space in the country.
We've been holding rallies since 2021, and for ourselves in the opposition, who have always been denied, space to hold public rallies. They have been using the police and they've been abusing the Public Order Act, and they've been claiming that the situation is not conducive for us to hold rallies for the said security reasons. Why is it that only them are able to hold rallies and then they don't allow us to hold the same rallies? This clearly demonstrates that there is a shrinking democratic space in this country. This is why even the CCZ, EFZ, Law Association of Zambia, and many other stakeholders who play a critical role in promoting our democracy have been raising the red flag against the UPND. The EU raised this, this red flag. It's not only the EU. Many other stakeholders have been, complaining about this behavior of the UPND. If we say there is a shrinking democratic space, it's because of these, catalogs of sad events that have been following each other back and forth.
Meanwhile, New Heritage Party President Shalakateka has described as unfortunate the purported prevailing injustice in the political scene that the UPND is championing.
A democracy is a place where people have certain human rights, and holding meetings is a right of every individual. It's enshrined in our constitution. But what the UPND are doing is they are abrogating the constitution. They need to allow the opposition to meet their members. What are they afraid of? So we urge Hakainde and his party and the police that he has weaponized to allow opposition to hold to hold their rally. Thank you.
All right, thank you, madam.
Bye.
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
This is Camnet Television's main news. We'll take a break. We'll be back shortly with more news.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farms' commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa. Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. Former President Edgar Lungu's political advisor, Chris Zumani Zimba and Potiphar Gwai have sued government in the Lusaka High Court, demanding over 233 million kwacha as compensation for arresting, charging, detaining and imprisoning and prosecuting them. Dr. Zumani and Gwai cite the Attorney General, the National Prosecution Authority, NPA, the Director of National Prosecutions, Gilbert Perry, and Catherine Luimba, a police officer, as defendants. The duo are seeking a declaration that they were without evidence maliciously arrested, charged, detained, imprisoned, and prosecuted by the defendants. On December 1, 2023, the Lusaka High Court acquitted Zimba, Given Perry, Marlon Banda, and Gwai of gassing-related charges on grounds that there was no evidence linking them to the offences. Details in this report.
Following the acquittal on December 1, 2023, by the Lusaka High Court, former President Edgar Lungu's political advisor, Chris Zimba, and 3 others, Given Perry, Marlon Banda, and Potiphar Gwai, of gassing-related charges on grounds that there was no evidence linking them to the offences, the former political advisor and Potiphar Gwai have sued the Zambian government, demanding 233,780,000 kwacha as compensation for arresting, charging, detaining, imprisoning, and prosecuting them. The duo is seeking a declaration that they were maliciously arrested, charged, detained, imprisoned, and prosecuted by the defendants without evidence. Dr. Zimba was facing 1 count of aiding in terrorist acts, while Given Perry and Marlon Banda were charged with 1 count of possessing terrorism articles, and on the other hand, Potiphar Gwai was facing a charge of possessing of terrorism articles. In a statement of claim filed in the Lusaka High Court Principal Registry through their lawyers, the duo indicate that they were arrested, detained, and prosecuted without credible cause. They further state that their prosecution and their businesses suffered, resulting in the closure and refunding of clients. Meanwhile, in their particulars of special damages, the duo, among other things, state that they owe their lawyers 20 million kwacha and explain that during their incarceration, their businesses were affected, resulting in millions being lost. They tabulate before the court that while in prison, former President Lungu's political advisor's business lost 3 million kwacha in the form of business, while Potiphar Gwai submitted that other sources of income were affected, resulting in a business loss amounting to 300,000 kwacha. Zumani, Given Perry, Marlon Banda, and Potiphar Gwai, prior to the acquittal, were facing 3 counts of possessing and procuring terrorism articles alleged to have been used in orchestrating gassing incidents in 2020. Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The Energy Regulations Board, ERB, has granted approval to ZESCO to implement the 2024 pre-approved tariffs, allowing the power utility company to migrate to 2024 pre-approved multi-year tariffs for domestic consumers as presented in the 2023 tariff schedule. In a statement, ERB Board Chairperson Reynolds Bowa says the projected revenue requirements were adjustable to take into consideration the 700 megawatts projected power deficit on account of the low water levels and in an exchange rate of 25.56 kwacha per dollar, which was adopted to calculate the projected power purchase cost in 2024. Engineer Wawa says the tariff adjustment schedule is effective May 1st, 2024, and the tariffs have increased from 14 ngwe per kilowatt per hour to 44 ngwe per kilowatt per hour for domestic consumers, while commercial tariffs have increased from 67 ngwe per kilowatt per hour to 78 ngwe per kilowatt per hour. He adds that the subsequent tariffs for 2025 to 2027 remain conditionally approved, subject to the ERB's annual review of the regulatory clearing account. The Nkeyema Town Council has handed over a newly constructed classroom block at Sipalo Primary School, costing 680,000 kwacha to the community. Officiating at the handover of the classroom block, Nkeyema Member of Parliament Kapelo Mbangweta urged Sipalo residents to take care of the facility and also desist from burning forests and plains, as they are among the contributors of climate change. And Nkeyema Town Council Secretary Dr. Moses Mutioka warned constructors who will not finish on time that their contracts will be terminated. More in the following report.
Lack of infrastructure and desks in most schools across the country has remained the most critical challenge amongst learners. And Nkeyema Town Council has come to the aid of most schools in the district by completing and handing over a classroom block and desks to Sparrow Primary School at a total cost of 680,000 kwacha. Officiating at the handover of the classroom block, Nkeyema Member of Parliament Kapelo Mbangweta had a message for the Sparrow residents.
And supporting President Hakainde Hichilema, because he was always thinking about us. We want to encourage all parents to make sure that the children now go to school. We should avoid early marriages. We put a lot of importance and priority on education. That's why we are building all those things there. We are requesting, especially our parents here, to make sure that going forward, because of the droughts which have come because of global warming, they should stop burning fields, burning forests, and burning the plains, because that just worsens the current arrangements. Important, because that will not help us. What we should now be doing is to plant trees.
And Elis Mukubesa is Nkeyema District Commissioner.
Today we are officially handing over 1x3 classroom under the same CDF. Years ago, we also handed another classroom for lower primary. Sign showing that His Excellency the President is doing his best, and there is no need for anyone to start saying he's not delivering.
Others who spoke and expressed their gratitude toward the new reconstructed classroom block are Nkeyema Town Council Secretary Dr. Moses Mutioka and some residents.
To 680,000 kwacha which we have spent on the classroom block. We have mobilized money to make sure that the remaining Kankwanda project in the Milangi ward is accelerated and completed in a shortest period of time. For 2022, which have not completed, we have given them up to 15th May. We don't expect any excuse. Those who not finish, they are gone. Those under 2023, we have given them up to 30th May.
Tumera kwa sikolo sese zalile. Sikolo sese zalile ne lunyanda bana baluna ne bakenera mwalikota. Ni kukenera mwamandu amwamu bufela. Konoka shekulese lunanizo lokule.
Erika fulati nakumatea kwa gasi. Jeka chenu bana baluna sebafumania kama desk. Erika tukota kwa kubeta. Kwa kwa tumera kwa muso wakachenu wo buzazu wo president wakachenu.
Musiwa Kavira, Camnet News in Nkeyema District of Western Province.
The Lusaka City Council LCC has begun a comprehensive operation to identify and remove illegal billboards dotted across the city. LCC Assistant Public Relations Manager Nyambe Bulumba says this is necessitated by the growing concern over the mushrooming of unauthorized billboards which have dented on the city's landscape. He adds that the council will not relent in its efforts to clean the city of these unsightly structures and preserve the beauty of Lusaka.
We exercise to identify and remove all illegal billboards that have spread across the city. The move comes amidst growing concern over the mushrooming of unpermitted billboards which have become an eyesore on the city's landscape. The identification exercise will provide us with a thorough understanding of the situation on the ground, thereby paving the way for us to remove these illegal structures. Now, alarmingly, these billboards in the city have been erected without the necessary permission and documentation from the local authority, contravening the Regional and Urban Planning Act of the laws of Zambia. We therefore wish to urge those responsible for these illegal billboards to take immediate action and dismantle them, as failure to do so will result in legal consequences. The Council remains committed to maintaining a clean and orderly environment, and this operation we are undertaking is actually a testament to our dedication to upholding the law and ensuring public safety across the city.
We'll take a break. We'll be back with international sports news shortly after the break.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
With this impending drought, it's time we look to alternatives of sustaining our crops. We as ISDP are promoting irrigation and water harvesting as the solution to challenges posed by climate change. Watch our 13-week series as we unfold the solutions for our crops. Catch us every Monday at 2040 hours, repeats every Tuesday at 1910.
Welcome back. And now in international news, a UN-backed court in the Central African Republic has issued an international arrest warrant for the country's exiled former president François Bozizé. Bozizé is wanted for human rights abuses, and the warrant covers crimes from 2009 to 2013 by the Presidential Guard and other security forces. However, Central African Republic President Umaro Sissoco Embalo reveals that he has not received any requests from Bangui about the arrest warrant and that his country's laws do not allow for extradition. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
A UN-backed court in the Central African Republic, CAR, issued an international arrest warrant Tuesday for the country's exiled former president François Bozizé. The warrant covers crimes from 2009 to 2013 by the Presidential Guard and other security forces, a spokesperson for the Special Criminal Court said. BOZIZÉ currently lives in Guinea-Bissau. The country's president, Umaro Sissoko Embalo, told the Associated Press news agency that he had not received any request from Bangui about the arrest warrant and that his country's laws do not allow for extradition. The CAR's Special Criminal Court is tasked with trying war crimes and other human rights abuses committed during the coups and violence that the country has experienced since 2003. According to a 2021 report by Amnesty International, dozens suspected of criminal responsibility for war crimes remain at large despite warrants issued by the court. BOZIZÉ seized power in 2003 and was ousted by rebels a decade later. That led to a civil war marked by sectarian violence, atrocities and the exploitation of children as soldiers. The President of Kenya, William Ruto, visited Tuesday flood-hit Kamuchiri village north of Nairobi, with seasonal rains forecast to increase. The cabinet said residents of areas with flooding or landslides in the past and residents near dams and rivers considered at high risk will have to evacuate within 48 hours from Wednesday. Everyone living on the riparian zones should vacate in Nairobi and all over the country because we do not want to keep losing the lives of our citizens. We will put in place adequate plans to feed them, shelter them and provide all the necessary requirements. We decided this in Cabinet today and the government will work with development partners on this undertaking. The President addressed survivors of the Kamuchiri village where a river broke through a blocked tunnel early Monday and killed at least 48 people. Residents expressed their pain. Some vented their frustration at the government's response. I know you have lost your children. Up to now, 48 bodies of children, women and men have been retrieved from here. Even though most of the about 100 people that were in hospitals have been treated and discharged, we still have about 26 people admitted. Heavy rains since mid-March have displaced more than 1,100 people across the country and damaged roads and other infrastructure. Kenya's cabinet said those who don't follow the evacuation order will be moved by force.
In northern Niger, migrant smuggling is back in full swing, with convoys of migrants leaving on Tuesdays and Thursdays of the week. Since the ruling military junta rescinded the decree banning the transport of migrants and all migrant-related activities in Niger in November, Agade's public transport square has been bustling with arrivals and departures. My aim, once I get to Europe, is to join the French army, because I want to go to France, as I was a soldier in Senegal. I prefer to continue my service when I get to Europe. Since the reopening of Agades, at least 5,000 migrants have already passed through the city on their way to Libya and Algeria in the hopes of crossing the Mediterranean.
Because of the desert, the cold, and the weather and everything. But I'm not still afraid to go.
With the help of smugglers, migrants leave Agades in small 4x4 cars or in lorries on their way to Libya or Algeria.
They face a lot of risks of arrests and detention, risks of expulsions from Algeria. So there's still a lot of factors that are continue to impede the movement of migrants further north.
One group called Alamphone Sahara says they've been helping to turn back migrants. We have listed around 9,000 people who have been refouled from Algeria for Niger since the beginning of the year until this April. Niger holds a unique position as a country of origin, transit and destination for intra-regional migration movements.
In sports news, Borussia Dortmund faced Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final clash. Dortmund hosts a French top flight in Germany tonight after they beat Spanish side Atletico Madrid 5-3 on aggregate in the quarterfinals to reach the last four. The Parisians beat Barcelona 4-1 in Spain to overturn a 3-2 home defeat. Bayern Munich and Real Madrid drew 2-0 in the other semi-final on Tuesday. To end Camnet television news, the headlines once again. Motorists irked by 4 kwacha for the Fongway fuel increase. Former presidential political advisor ZUMANI Zimba demands over 233 million kwacha for malicious prosecution. Government reaffirms commitment to resolve economic challenges. In international news, arrest warrant issued for CAR's ex-president François BOZIZÉ. And in sports news, Dortmund and Paris Saint-Germain clash in UEFA semi-finals. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of Joshua 1 verse 9. I have not commanded you. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Thank you for watching Camnet Television News. Bye-bye.